Good morning, you guys, and welcome back to my channel for another video. Today we are going to be doing a day in the life together, and I want to thank Night Zookeeper for sponsoring today's day in the life of a homeschool mom. So to quickly recap for you guys, I've lived a lot of life before I'm starting off filming this video. I have obviously gotten myself ready. I did my hair and makeup this morning. I still have on comfy clothes, but got ready because this day that I happen to be filming this is a working and filming day for me. So I have finally, praise the Lord, found a working, somewhat, nothing's perfect, but somewhat working schedule for my work life. And so what that means is that 2 days a week I am creating content and video content, and one of those days is during the week, and then one of them is usually on the weekend if need be. And that one is usually a little bit shorter. It's more of just a few hours that I am really trying to carve out and be disciplined with, so that way I'm not getting overwhelmed, because I only get overwhelmed when I just feel like I don't have the time that I need to get the things done that I need to get done. So I've been doing this type of schedule. Oh, I have a hair. I've been doing this type of schedule for my work for since December, and it has been working out really well. Part of the reason why it's working out really well is because we haven't been traveling, and so you know, when that happens, then things get thrown off. But right now I'm just relishing in my success. So anyways, I have filmed some stuff that I needed to get done. It's 8:40 right now. The kids have had breakfast. I've had breakfast. I've had my coffee. The kids went out on a morning walk to get some vitamin D, even though it is freezing outside. It is so windy and super chilly, but the sun is out. So they did that, and so now I'm starting off this day in the life. We have school to get done today, and my boys have haircuts, and we have extracurriculars, and so it's just going to be a normal day around here, around my house. But last time I filmed a day in the life, I really enjoyed, and I think you guys did too, me infusing some questions that I've been getting in my DMs on Instagram. These are like questions that I'm seeing all the time. And so the last video I did, I remembered all the questions that I was receiving, but there have been some things that I'm continually coming across that I will hopefully answer in this video, just because I cannot do Q&As, you know, constantly on my channel. And sometimes I go a pretty long while without doing one. I'm getting the feeling that I'm kind of due for a Q&A here soon. But anytime I put out questions for Q&As, then sometimes I don't get like these kind of questions. So anyways, I'm going to try to infuse some of the questions that I've been receiving in this video to kind of show you guys some stuff, answer some stuff that is completely random that I would just never sit down and make a video on. Like one thing that I saw is, how do I organize the inside of my refrigerator? I would never make a video on that. I mean, maybe if I was doing like a project on it, I might put it in like a video, but I would never make a specific video about my refrigerator. So at least with doing this, I can show you guys some stuff that you're kind of wondering. And then another thing that keeps coming up is my older kids' history course, which I'm gonna do a review on. It's just not time for that yet, but I will talk about that. And we'll just see what we get into today. But we are going to go downstairs and get started with school, 8:45. So doing pretty good on time. I try to start at 8:30, but when I have like work stuff, then sometimes it gets bumped back, and that is just totally fine. So that's where we're at today. We'll see what we get into today. If you love day in the life videos, give me a thumbs up right now. I want to quickly tell you guys, because sometimes you hear me say that, you might not know why. So engaging with the content, either leaving a comment, giving a thumbs up, or a thumbs down, honestly, is is a way to engage with my content. And when there's a lot of engagement with content, that content gets shown in and picked up by the algorithm more. So it's not to say that if all of you guys gave me a thumbs up on this video, I'm gonna have a viral video that's gonna get 50 million views. No, that's not the case. But it does generate some traction, especially when the video first releases. And so if you're someone that is like, I love what Ashley shares, I love how she shows up every single week to share parts of her motherhood and life with us, I appreciate her so much. If you're someone like that, one of the biggest things you can do, and it's completely free, to help my channel stay afloat in this season of history, it's this historical time period we're living in, where you know, people that talk about the things that I talk about necessarily aren't being promoted. In fact, we're being kind of like suppressed, and that's just a fact. So if you care about the things I care about, and you know, value the fact that I am here and committed to my channel, then a free thumbs up or a comment or a share goes a long way, and it literally costs you nothing except a few seconds of your time. So that's why I ask in every video for you guys to give the content a thumbs up, if you were wondering. So there's question number 1 answered. Why are you always asking for thumbs up? Nobody asked me that. That's just a question I felt like telling you about. So anyway, gonna go downstairs and get started on school with the kids.
Wish that I could stay in this moment forever, so I can hold you in my arms. I will carry you on my shoulders as long as I'm able. Scare the monsters under your bed, deep and abiding, liking for you.
Okay, so one of the questions that I've been getting asked a bunch lately has been surrounding the topic of history in our homeschool, because many of you guys know I am doing beautiful feet books with my younger 2 kids, which this is the book we're currently reading for that, Pocahontas and the Strangers. And then my older 2 kids are doing NOTGRASS world history, which we didn't start off our school year using that. If you watch everything, you'll remember this, but if you don't, you may not. I bought something different and it just was not working out. So I asked you guys for the high school level what history courses you all really recommended. I didn't want anything video based, and so we tried out NOTGRASS, and it has been amazing. We really, really love it. My kids love it. It's very interesting, but also not taking them hours to get through, which is important. And so the way that we do it is when we do history, which is every day. We used to do history and science and opposition for my younger kids, but now we're just doing it every day. So my younger kids, we generally have a book to read because Beautiful Feet Books is literature based. So we will go over to the couch and read, and then my high schoolers will sit here and do their history. So basically they read the lesson that they're on. Now, NOTGRASS has the option to include Bible and an English credit if you use this in its fullness, but we are just using history this year. Next year we might change it, but basically they just read the lesson, which is a few pages, and the textbooks have the pictures in them, which is awesome. And then down here it has assignments for lesson 45. So there's a Bible assignment, a project, student review, and in their words. And so we don't do all of that because we are using just the history portion. So, and they only do projects every other unit. That's just something that I've decided. So they'll answer the questions in their student reviews, which they have. So they each have a textbook. I would recommend that. It's impossible to share. We tried that at first and it just was not working well. And then they each have a student review book with 10 questions that they answer. And like I said, every other unit, they do a history project. So last unit, she baked something. What were those called?
I don't know.
They were like a traditional cookie for celebrating Esther, right?
Yeah.
So she did a baking project, and then he wrote an interesting story that was supposed to teach a lesson on things turning out better than you expected or something. So they have different projects, but I'm only having them do those every other unit. So a quick answer. That is about NOTGRASS history. I'm a big fan. I don't think we'll be looking elsewhere. So I would give it a good recommendation, and I think they would too. Would you?
Yes.
Yes, it's good, right? It's very solid, but also not hours and not video based. So that's how we're doing it. They sit here and do theirs. They're over there about to do these, and I'll of course do a full review on that at the end of the school year, but there's a little snippet for you guys.
Wish that I could stay in this moment forever, so I can hold you in my arms. I will carry you on my shoulders as long as I'm able. Scare the monsters under your bed. Deep and abiding, liking for you is all I need. Until my heart gives in, I will do everything I can for you.
So we are having a quick snack break, and I took the time to start the chicken noodle soup for dinner. It's what we're having tonight, with some sourdough that I just baked yesterday. And oh, I wanted to show you guys this menu planner that I got from Amazon. It's magnetic and I love it. Very aesthetic and clean looking, so that way everyone knows what's for dinner, and it works really well. So on the note of dinner and meal prep, I figured I would show you guys my refrigerator system, because everyone asks if I have like those clear organizers, which you can see I do not. My family is too large to occupy space with like clear organizing containers. So in general, we just have it, organized in a way that makes sense for us. So obviously the doors contain the condiments. We always keep eggs and usually like an additional loaf of bread or something up top. The cheese and deli meat drawer also usually has tortillas. I will defrost meat on this shelf so that way it's not like touching everything else. Down here is the milk varieties of half and half, oat milk, regular milk. This little turntable thing I got at Target, that's the only thing that I have in here for just like random stuff that doesn't fit. On this side, we usually keep like the hummus cups, guacamole, yogurt, squeezes. And then this is like the meal prep shelf. So in here, we have a few days worth of meal prep. So this is some chicken salad that I just made for the kids and I to go on a hike. These are two separate pre-measured meals for Jake for work. We have his overnight oats sitting there. He does about 2 or 3 of those at a time just because the fridge, there's limited space. And then some protein pancakes for him to take. So in general, we will just kind of stack up containers like this for meal prep, and we do about 3 to 4 meals at a time. Breakfast, he usually does those, and then like a protein thing that we had. Last week we did a lot more. We had turkey bacon and sweet potatoes, and so I'll just put them there, and then we always keep space down here because all of our produce in my extra sourdough loaf goes in this drawer in our refrigerator. So that's the way that we organize our fridge, and now you guys have a little glimpse inside. I love the look of all those clear organizing containers, but it's just not practical for a large family that needs every inch of space to be held for food and not, you know, plastic organizers. So, have you ever watched a baseball getting hurled into the air and wondered if there was a chance that it could just keep going and flying into space if you threw it hard enough?
I've never thought.
You never thought about that? There are so many questions about how our world works. Scientists like Isaac Newton have learned many things about how the world works by watching and questioning the seemingly normal things around them. So these inventors and these scientists, they didn't have to go out and look for something to research. They just observed the things that happened around them every day and wanted to understand it.
Like the
Why it was.
from the tree.
Right. So being curious can lead you to a lot of really amazing inventions and discoveries.
Also very bad things.
We also have been observing how things work and interact through some of the experiments we've done, like the force and the bounce balls and the flicking of the penny and all those things. You have made hypotheses or educated guesses at how something will act or why an object does something a certain kind of way. Sometimes we're right and sometimes we're wrong, but either way, we are learning and continuing to grow in our understanding of how our world works. Scientists are still doing that today, and even with all the research being conducted, they cannot explain everything in our world. Why do you think that is?
Because they didn't create it.
They didn't create it.
Bouncy ball. No, higher. It's not that hard to hit it, was it?
Okay, Liv, put your arms down lower and turn the panda so it's upright. And the butt is yes. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, drop.
Bouncy ball.
The bouncy ball did? All right, guys, so it's about 10:45 and my older kids have been upstairs already taken their math quiz for the day, which is actually really good timing because of haircuts this afternoon for the boys. I really wanted them to be done with school by the time we do that. So they already did that. I just finished up the lesson on gravity with my younger two, the good and the beautiful, motion and simple machines, having a ton of fun with this. And even though they make it simple like this, these concepts are higher level. And so I think this is a really good one for older kids. So that's done. I just finished cleaning up my space. I will be going over my kids' quiz later, their history quiz from their world history from NOTGRASS, which I told you about. The guide, the answer guide, and these quiz books are optional, but I like them. So since I'm not teaching them, you know, daily like I was history when we were doing the good and the beautiful as a whole family, the quiz and exam books give me an opportunity to see that they're retaining what they're learning, that they understand things, and then also to conversate with them on those things. Of course, I do that when they're doing their projects and stuff, but they're definitely getting to the ages and stages where they're doing a lot more independently, and that is good and the way it should be, but also kind of like makes you miss the younger years of homeschooling with all of your littles around you. So before I go upstairs though, I wanted to touch base with you guys on something that I think I mentioned in my goals video in February. And so if you didn't watch that video yet, go check it out because I talk about that a little bit more. So people ask me a lot, and this is another question I wanted to answer, how do we plan our vacations and trips and travels? And this is where Night Zookeeper, which is today's video sponsor, is going to come in. So as far as like big vacations, expensive vacations, I've told you guys this before, we always give ourselves over a year to plan an expensive vacation. So for example, we are going to Hawaii for the first time as a family. It will be my first time I've ever gone to Hawaii. And we booked this trip over a year ago. So, you know, we start with where we want to stay, we reserve that. And then when flights open up, which is like a few months later, then we book those. And we actually were able to use points for a lot of our flights this time, and so that was amazing, saved a lot of money. And then once we book the flights, then we move on to like the activities, and so spanning it out really helps us. But for our RV travels, generally in December or January, because those are like 6 months out from either June or July, which are the busiest RVing months of the year because it's summer and everything's open naturally. Last year we went all the way up to Glacier, which is on the border of Montana and Canada. And obviously if you live there, you might visit in the winter, but you cannot tow through there in the winter. So there's a reason why it's all open in the spring and summer. So December and January, we sit down as a family, Jake and I specifically, and we look at where we want to go, what trips we have to do for, you know, like our kids' sports or dance performances, or, you know, in the past, tons of soccer. We look at, you know, what our big vacations are that year, and then we kind of plot our RV weekends, you know, the quick ones that are just like a Friday to a Monday, which I highly recommend, and then our longer ones. And so we kind of map all of that out in December and January. And so I mentioned this in my goals video, but since we pretty much have up until August ironed out for where we're going, where we're traveling, and all the things, I did something I've never ever done before and went through, and I'll show you guys, and planned like my weeks for school. So you can just see week 22. And I did that all the way until the end of the year because we are taking a bunch of time off. I wanted to get a gauge on where we would be because I knew that for January and February, we needed to be very diligent and very focused in our homeschool. So that is how we plan our trips and our travel. And then that is how I kind of, you know, I want to take time off during the summer. We homeschool year round. Traveling is for sure a part of our homeschool, but also, you know, completing like courses and book work is something I and my children value. Other families may not, you know, you might just be done and that's fine. But for us, we do like the sense of completion of seeing something until it's done. So I needed to kind of check all that, give a status update on where I was, which leads me to Night Zookeeper. So I've been working with Night Zookeeper for years now, and I have shared them with you guys so much because it's truly one of the best writing and even typing and computer literacy programs that I have found for my kids to do online. I absolutely love the games that they have on Night Zookeeper that help them with their spelling, with their typing, with their grammar, with learning new words that might not be a part of their curriculum. And Night Zookeeper is recommended for ages 5 through 12. So as I was planning out our weeks, I was kind of seeing, okay, I'm a little ahead of schedule in certain curriculums and a little bit right on point in others. And so because of that, I was able to see that I needed to kind of slow us down on some areas. And so Night Zookeeper is one of the resources that I use along with other things to extend my some of my kids' language arts programs so that way everyone is not finishing at different points of the year. Last year that happened and it was pretty tough because some kids had like one thing to do and others had 4 and 5, and it just was very hard to keep the house quiet and keep everybody learning. So that is one of my biggest recommendations for Night Zookeeper is if you're juggling multiple kids with multiple curriculums, you can use Night Zookeeper in place of your language arts curriculum for that day, and your kids will love the change up. They'll love the colorful and interactive games. They will love creating their own characters and having them appear on screen. They will practice their typing skills once they've completed typing programs. My youngest just finished up typing 3, and so now using Night Zookeeper, she'll be able to keep fresh with her typing skills, even though she isn't doing that every single day anymore since she's done with her typing program. And so I just find a lot of value in Night Zookeeper for those reasons. So if you guys want to check out Night Zookeeper, down below you guys can save 50% off of your subscription. And I always mention this because I know a lot of you guys have multiple kids. They do have a multi-sibling discount that you can access through the link down below. There is no code. I get asked that a lot too. No code needed. Just the link, and you guys will be able to save yourselves some money as you sign up for your subscription of Night Zookeeper. It's also awesome for them to take on the road. Speaking of summer travel, if any of you guys are planning trips and you want your child to do something educational on their iPad or something like that, I would recommend Night Zookeeper as one of my top favorite educational tools that's available online. So all the information to Night Zookeeper will be down below for you guys, but I am going to go ahead and head upstairs now to finish up schoolwork with the kids to hopefully get them all taken care of before we head off for haircuts, which does take a bit of time. I'm wondering how long it will take today, being that they're both changing up their hairstyles. We'll see what happens, but we have 2 haircuts this afternoon, and in between those 2 haircuts, I have a work phone call for a brand, and so I'll be stepping outside and into my office known as my Suburban to take that work video conference call. So that's what's going on. I'm gonna go upstairs now and finish up. So it is about 12:15 and we're having lunch. Today I just made half an avocado smashed on a bagel. This is just a plain bagel, and then I did 4 ounces of turkey breast on it. Needed to have quite a bit of carbs for lunch, so to meet my goals. So that's what I'm having. I'll probably have an apple or something on the side. I just couldn't fit it on the plate. That's Unit 9 quiz, right?
Yeah. Please PG. Please PG. Please PG. Please PG.
Number 1, G. You don't need to scream. Jeez. Number 2, A.
Yeah.
3, I. 4, B.
Wait, you actually took my advice. Yay.
5, J.
I knew it though.
6, D.
That's the one.
7, E. 8, H.
Okay.
9, C. 10, F.
100%,
I just
Kayla.
got these books.
Wait, Kylie, wait.
Flip around.
Caleb, will you tell me I'm so smart because I knew it was.
See, this one-
Caleb shouldn't have been consulting you.
I just said it's filled with math.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I knew it. I
You,
knew.
he gave you the answer.
I still would have. I
You
still
need
would
to
have
settle
got
down.
And I knew the answer anyway.
Settle
Oh, yeah, the
down.
one you landed.
I did it.
Why-
I
I just
said
said it was.
Why are you guys so loud and obnoxious? Why are you behaving like this?
Because he cheated.
No, you didn't.
You
I didn't need Lennon's
Hey,
advice. I
put
didn't
it
listen
away.
I was trying to show off my smart. Oh, you get good advice. Why not?
No,
me?
Caleb didn't ask him. Landon was just sharing that he knew
Guess
the
what? I
answer.
still would
Yeah,
have
I knew
got
the
10%.
answer.
I
didn't
still
tell
would
you.
have got 10% more.
Caleb
than you.
already knew the answer.
Did you know they found Philip's grave because
He didn't
he
ask.
had one less eye
First
from
we
a
need to
battle,
put those
and they
two
found a.
So we just got back from getting haircuts done, as you guys saw, and I did my work call in the car. And now I just changed into my workout clothes, and I'm gonna head to the gym today. I'm gonna do weightlifting for my back and my biceps, as well as probably 20 minutes walking on the treadmill, trying to get my step count up to close to 10,000 every single day. Has proven to be a difficult challenge unless I'm running or we're like super busy running errands and then like hiking or something like that. But just ordinary days around the house, if I'm not intentional, I'm not getting 10,000 steps in. So that has been a big focus of mine. And so that's what I'm gonna do now, head off to the gym. Jake is already home for the day. That's a new thing. His new work schedule went into effect a few weeks ago. We've been getting acclimated, and as a homeschooling family, those changes are felt by everyone, but I feel like we're getting a routine, we're getting established finally 4 weeks later. So he's actually here now in the afternoon. So I'm gonna head off to the gym all alone, have an hour to myself, and I hope to feel nice and sweaty when I get back on here. All right, guys, it is almost 4 o'clock now, and I just got back from the gym. I had a good workout, and I just made my protein shake, which is another question that I'm commonly asked is, what do I put in my protein shakes? It's just protein and water, because all I really want is the protein benefits. So this is from Clean Simple Eats. Not sponsored, just like them, and I just mix it with water and I drink it within 20 to 30 minutes of finishing my workout. So now I am home. The kids are at the park with Jake. I'm going to feed my sourdough starter as well as add the egg noodles to the chicken noodle soup so that it's ready to go. And then we are going to start the shuffle for the kids tonight. Jake will be taking one, I'll be taking the other, and that'll be a summary on our Tuesday. So I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me today, as well as hearing me answer some commonly asked questions. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Make sure you guys check out the links to Night Zookeeper down in the description box and save 50% on your subscription, and I will see you guys again really soon. Bye, friends.